Hello and welcome to the Who the Fuck is in the Mirror podcast. I'm Angela Spooner, your host, emotional intelligence guide, trauma-informed coach, yoga instructor, confident, badass single mom of 3 amazing children, and founder of Unabashedly You. This podcast is all about using books, analogies, and metaphors to dive deep into who you really are to yourselves, not just as parents or some fictional version others made you out to be, right? But who the fuck you are. I want you to find your confidently badass, secure version of you that you lost along the way, or maybe you never even had in the first place because you were like busy with everyone and everything else. Does that sound about right? So how about we get into the science of why we are a bunch of fucked up individuals who look in the mirror and don't even recognize the person that's staring back. Join me in the best journey you'll ever experience. Why, you may ask? Because it is the journey to transform your self-doubt, insecurity, and overall dysfunctional brain into self-aware, badass confidence and understanding. I hope you're as excited as I am because I cannot wait to get into this.
Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival.
Recording in progress. I know. She's like that creeper in the background. Like, bitch, were you there the whole time? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Who the Fuck is in the Mirror? But also, that's where you're supposed to chime in. Fuck, she didn't. She
It's me. I'm up in your mirror. Oh, fuck. Yeah. You know. Like it's me. It's me, Tammy, guys, from RLP Holistic Wellness.
It's going on both of our podcasts, guys. She was supposed to like introduce herself. We're totally like improving this because you know how I do. So we didn't plan any of that. But I thought that she was gonna catch on. Like, wait, I thought she'd want to promote her own podcast right now. She's all, it's me who's in the mirror.
And guess what? It's Tammy from Rising with RLP.
Okay.
Okay, so are we gonna cut that one and then
No, we're doing it. What are you talking about? I keep all my shit. Stop it. Look at your face. You're like sad panda. You have to have all the shit. My clients, my listeners, my listeners don't like listening to that edited shit. We like it raw and real. No movement.
well see my listeners are gonna be like, hey, what's going on here? Well, guys, this is my pineapple and you know, like, dude, I will have to say, Andrew's like one of my fucking bestest friends. And
If she lived closer, we'd be getting matching tattoos. We're that cool.
right.
You're the R to my LP.
Dude, and you're my reflection to my mirror.
No,
How'd you like that? Did you like that? That was some smooth shit, wasn't it?
That was pretty smooth, but also remember the person in the mirror is the fucking crazy bitch. So
Well, guess what? You know what? Hey, it matches up well, man. We match up well.
right. We're fucking ebony and ivory, motherfucker. So for my listeners, let me tell you, this chick, her podcast is a lot more calming. It is a lot less like mine. So that's why she said that her listeners are going to be sitting there and be like, what is going on? Like, who is this Tammy? We've never met this side of Tammy before. Not that her listeners have English accents.
No, but the one thing is that, well, you already know, I'm pretty calm. But for my listeners, though, they do know that, you know, I've got foul mouth. I'm foul mouth Tammy. That's why I had to put that the podcast was explicit.
Is that what they actually call you? Foul mouth Tammy?
That's what they called me in high school.
Did you tell them to say it 3 times fast?
I don't even want to say it 3 times fast because for some reason I feel like it could go so wrong.
How could something so wrong feel so right? That's what they told me in high school. Yeah.
So what the hell are we talking about today? Oh
Mistakes.
yeah, we're talking about mistakes.
That's why I said I wasn't going to edit it. I mean, obviously I wasn't going to edit it anyway, but that's even more why, because we got to just let the mistakes happen. How are we going to talk about mistakes and we're like, but also let's edit this?
Right. That is so, you know what though? Like, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I've made fucking mistakes. And for some reason, we live in society and society says, oh my goodness, you can't make a mistake. Well, let me tell you, when it came to RLP, it started out RLP healing. Now it is RLP Holistic Wellness. But guess what? RLP healing has the virtual healing studio, RLP Holistic Wellness. But anyways, I really made some major mistakes. Like, let's start in the major mistakes of starting a business. My main thought was that whole thought of, shit, I need to be bigger. I need to make the money. I need to this and I need to that. When really, if I had have been working on making myself better, the bigger just comes right with it. And I learned it later in the game of doing the business because now we've been doing this for 3 years, which is still not a that's not a long ass time. You have to make it like I got 2 more years to go to be like considered like actually doing some business,
Well, it's like the thing I was telling you about today, where I was in that webinar and the lady's like, you got to do it this way. And this is how you convert 10,000 to 100,000. And I was just sitting there looking at her and everybody else is like, wow, that's beautiful. I was like, I don't know if anybody else heard this, but at the very beginning, she talks about how she has 20 fucking years of experience. Like, she's been doing this for 20 years. So this is not just, and she just changed it to the way that she has it now, where she's making all this, right? So I'm like, I think there's a lot more. Like, I love how people are like, you'll see people all the time. Like, there's a lady that came on there. I know I just cut you off, but I'll get back. I'll let you have this stand in a second. But I had this lady message me today and she's like, oh my God, like your stuff is so funny. And I was like, stop it. Tell me more about myself. And then like, I was just waiting because I looked up her profile, right? Because people don't just start out like that.
Right.
And when you start a business, they want to sit there and they literally want to sell you everything. So I looked and she's a business coach and I was like, all right, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. So she sent me a message and I didn't even check it. But my point is that I find it so funny how there's these people that like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing this, but they want to teach that to you, right? But it makes you wonder, are they teaching it to you because they couldn't fucking make money and they're like, let me, and there are those people that actually do have that successful business and they do want to share, but there's a shit ton of people that want to sit there and sell you shit and want to sit there and, oh, let me help your business. And you're like, yeah, so tell me about your business. Like, what is successful about your business that you can tell me in my business? And I've actually had somebody sit there and they're like talking about something completely topic, kind of like what I'm doing right now. But they and they're like, I want to help your business. And you're like, you want to help my business? Do you even know what my fucking business is? Do you even like that guy that I told you about that's like, I want you to go on this radio, which I think is a cool opportunity, except for the fact that on that radio, they don't it's like a family radio station. And I'm like,
Mhm.
and my first thing I said to him was, have you ever listened to my podcast? Because I'm like,
Oh, wait a minute.
right. Well, and the problem is getting back on the topic with mistakes. When we make, when we are not authentic with ourselves out of desperation, or I want to get my name out there, right? We go on these things where we're not authentically ourselves, and then we wonder why we don't get the connection that we want, right? And it's like
Yeah.
what you were saying, right? With that guy that you were listening to the other day, right?
Yeah. Like he talks about, he's like, you know what? It may take you like 5 years to do it. He's like, but let me tell you, when you are better. So he said, beginning, and he says it's about being bigger or better, not bigger. He said he used Chick-fil-A as an example. And so I'm just going to total paraphrase it. But Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A started, and they started with making this sandwich, and they made that chicken sandwich better. That was their goal, was we're going to make the bomb ass best chicken sandwich. So there's all these other places that were all about being bigger. So he talked about Boston Market. And now guess what? Anybody that's under that's in the Gen Z, you guys may not know what Boston Market is, but Boston Market used to be the bomb diggity back in the day. See, you even shook your head. Yes, yes. But and the way that he puts it, it was so, it just hit. You know what I mean? And I listened to it, and he talked about how they just wanted to be better, make the best chicken sandwich. He said, pick one thing and go with that. So I was like, man, dude, you know me, I do the take your life back, bringing back that human revolution. That's what I take people on the journey of discovering their human revolution, achieving that. And so that's what you get. I work with people on achieving their own human revolution. But one thing that I number one do is I tell people flat out, guess what? I am me. I am a person. Life is life and people are people. Life is going to life me no matter what. And I will always be a person. So guess what? Just like everybody else, guess what? Some of my shit sucks. Some of the stuff that I did sucked. You know what I mean? Like it sucked. And when I finally took that step back after my sister died, I had multiple classes going to where now I've just dropped down to 2 of my classes. I'm finishing out the rest of the classes with a couple of my students, and I'm done with that. And so now I only have 2 classes that I run, which is my Kundalini Reiki Masterclass, which is a 3-month. And then I have a 2-month breathwork and meditation teacher masterclass as well. And that's it. Used to be teaching EFT and all these other things, but I was like, you know what? Go with what you fucking love. Like, that's what I love. I love meditation. I love breathwork. I love yoga. I love connecting with self. So that's what I've got myself to. But Jim Rohn said, success is something you attract by the person you become. So then I started listening to the different people I listened to, and I was like, damn, they all are saying the same thing. And that's what I learned in rehab, is about being the best version of yourself. So yeah, you can tell someone, hey, like, I want to help you with your business. Like, and be authentic about it. Like, dude, I want to help you with your business, but guess what? I'm still growing my business too. So like, this is kind of one of those things. Like, be real about it. But here's the kicker. They may be doing something in their business there may be something that you're doing in your business that they like. So that you're really good at. We're all good at something.
Which is why I always stress the importance of continuously learning. Like, it's not about, because I love how people are like, oh, I can't, because did you hear about their past, or did you hear about what they're doing? And you're like, yeah, who gives a shit? It's like Hulk from The Body Keeps the Score, right? It's like when I started that and I was getting told, like, be careful about doing him as your podcast, right? Not doing him. Anyways. Stop it. But that's funny because it's like he has these, what is it? I think he has he's been accused of like sexual harassment. So that's why I think it's funny. But that's what they were saying. They're like, yeah, he's being accused of sexual harassment. And they're saying that his findings aren't even legit because it's not even scientifically proving it anymore. And I was like, who gives a fuck what everybody else and all of the drama, bro? Like, that is my biggest thing. I talked to a client today and she was talking about how she's like, I just don't understand what you mean by doing shadow work. So it's like, okay, let's talk about relationships for a minute. So then she starts talking about how, she has these instances where she's at a party and girls are like throwing themselves at guys. And then she's like, yeah, but then they get mad at me and accuse me of doing the very same thing. And I was like, but why is it affecting you? And she kind of sat there and I said, so she started saying stuff, getting defensive. And I was like, okay, so this is where I tell you, remember that shadow work is not fucking easy. I was like, so if we were to take that ego of yours, that is definitely shining out right now. If we were to take that little ego and just shove it in your fucking pocket for a second and actually see where you are scared of having that attention on yourself. And so you're looking at them and saying, I can't believe they have all this attention on them and this and that. And she was like, I could have all the attention on myself. And I said, well, what in that makes you think that you can't have attention on yourself? Because that was one of the biggest things that I learned when I started my path on growing and healing, is that one of my biggest mistakes was not accepting those sides of me, because I was always told, you can't shine out, Angela. Angela, you're too much. Angela, you're too loud. Angela, you're too this. Angela, you're too that. Well, guess what, bitch? Here's the thing. Here's the kicker. I have my own business that I built, and it is in the beginning stages. However, I have a fucking podcast that is on all the social media platforms. I have all my apps incorporated with yoga, meditation, breath work, mindfulness coaching, that long-term ad. And guess what? I'm allowed to sit there and say, good fucking job. I'm allowed to be loud. Why? Because my loudness, I was holding that in for so long, and now she's coming out, but she's coming out with a vengeance. Like, she is ready to get out there and tell people how
Say it loud. Say it loud.
them. Right. But that's the thing, right? Is that we're so fucking scared of making mistakes.
Yes.
Hold all those parts of us inside. And then we have those fucking explosions where we are out of body and we're not able to control our emotions, our behaviors, our feelings because we haven't accepted that they exist.
And that's where I made my mistake in the very beginning with the business. I made this mistake of that I felt that I needed to be all of these different things, because here's the kicker. When I first started, it started with custom plant hangers and bath soap that my husband makes and I make. And I was like, I was so excited about it until then I got into the car accident and I was laying on the couch and Reiki came up. Well, I did the Reiki. And then a year later, then here comes this, and then here comes this, and then here comes this. And I'm freaking doing all of these certification courses like I'm going back to college.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was taking it was this class and this class and this class all at the same time. Now, for a while there, I got to a point to where I felt like I had to keep doing all of these different things or stick with this certain kind of idea because I didn't see myself as worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see myself as worthy. So therefore, I did not see the work that I did as worthy. I felt that, I need to do this to make myself be seen more. So I've always pulled cards, but I found myself where I was very heavily into pulling cards, but that's not really, I love my cards. Don't get me wrong. I love pulling cards, but where I am and where my part of my purpose is the holistic practices, the meditation, the breath work, the yoga, and doing those kind of things. That's where the mindfulness, that's where I am. But I didn't see myself. But now I'm like you, dude, I see who I am. I see who I am. And I see that I'm way better now than when I first started my business. And it was that mistake. And I love shadow work because shadow work, along with listening to other things, because I believe you can learn from anyone. You can learn from the man standing on the corner. I can learn from anyone. I take a knowledge that I learn from anyone. It can be the simplest thing that someone says to you. And that right there could change your life. Oscar Wilde said, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. It was that one statement in rehab that changed my whole experience in rehab.
So here's the question, though. What did you learn from that man standing on the corner? Was he twerking? How were his knees? Did you ask him how his knees were? Cashmere knee pads?
He's all hands on your knees. Hands
on your and twerk.
Twerk to the left, twerk to the right.
Hey, you wonderful, sexy, beautiful, badass woman or man. We interrupt this wonderful podcast episode by yours truly, Angela, to let you know about my membership to Unabashedly You. This app I created for you. This is not an average app, a coaching app. This is not just a yoga app. This is Unabashedly You on Apple and Google. Live, motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? We are talking about confidence, empowerment, learning about yourself, becoming more self-aware than you ever thought you could be. Moving through it with yoga, meditation, mindfulness, breath work. We are talking about the whole shebang. I have my 6 videos that I created in my 6-week challenge as my crash course videos. So you watch them whenever you have time, anytime. You don't have to watch them right away. I have live coaching calls every other week where we just get you connected with your body. We talk about the content that you have gone over. We do some self-awareness. I also have prompts twice a week. These prompts are super quick. It's literally just prompting you to open out of your shell and actually take more action. So, like my last prompt was literally go outside and do something like a child. Be playful. Be curious about it. These are the kinds of things that we do at Unabashedly You to make you feel like you are the most badass, confident woman that you know. I'm not here to validate you. I'm here to teach you how to validate your fucking self. How to own every single part of you. And if you've already been on this journey for a while and you're like, actually, I'm good. This is to help you help others also. Because anybody that has been through anything or has wanted to grow in any way, shape, or form, as you grow, I have not ever met somebody that didn't want to help somebody else feel the same way. That's what this app is for. It is for a community of badass women. And eventually, I want to have a brick and mortar so that women can come there when they need to, when they just need to get the fuck away, right? And just hang out and just be sociable. And there's a whole area for kids where the kids can do their own mindfulness exercises. I'm talking, this is golden shit. You get a 7-day free trial, so you can literally try before you buy. Just try it out. See how you like it. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. And it's affordable. It's like $13 a week, roughly. It's $49.99 a month. Take some action. Show you that you are worth it. Now enjoy the rest of the episode. Mwah. Love you.
No, actually, this is what I learned, that everything is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
So with that, is it really that they are mistakes? Or is it that we just haven't accepted what we were supposed to learn from those situations? And so we call them mistakes so that we don't have to deal with them.
Ooh, let's call it what it is. It's a lesson.
Right.
Dude, I'm so grateful for lessons and good conversation.
For real. Because you could just sit there all day. It's so I was talking to one of my kids the other day about it, and I was just like, you learn this, and then I forgot what we were talking about, but she looked at me and she was like, but what about this? And I was like, well, technically you can do this. So basically what was happening is that she was digging deeper and deeper, just trying to be a fucking annoying kid, right? But what I took, she was just like trying to piss me off. They do that all the time. And I'll be like, yes, very funny, very funny. And it only works when I'm in the middle of something, like deep in my computer. And then I'm like, okay, I get your fucking point. You have won. You are annoying. Thank you. Mission accomplished. But we were going back and forth, right? And then I told her, I said, the beauty about growing because I was like, okay, I see what she's doing, but now I'm going to throw something at her. And it worked because she sat there and she looked at me and then she walked away. Because I told her, I said, the beauty about growing is that you will always have a different perspective or a way of looking at things that you had never thought about before. And so you can sit there and say, this was a shadow, or you can sit there and say, this was a mistake, or this happened for this reason. But then we're constantly evolving. So next week, the thing that we thought was going to be the epitome of everything, we could be looking at it and being like, what the fuck? 2 years down the road, you and I could be sitting there and we could have our own business together and have a fucking whole resort that people come to. Like,
Yeah.
don't know what the future holds. You can have your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan. You can sit there and say, now I know what I'm doing. But do you really fucking know what you're doing? You know what you're doing for this very fucking moment. You have no fucking idea what tomorrow holds or even an hour holds. Do you think that that guy that got into a car accident knew I'm going to get in a car accident and fucking be cut in half and die? I know that's a little morbid, but it's true.
I'm like, did you have to go so dark? Did you
I,
have to go so dark?
I mean, have you met me?
I know, right? And that's where I'm thinking, I'm like, well, duh, that's why you and Ange get along. You guys,
Right.
you're positive dark. You guys accept your shadow side. Yeah, like shit.
But it's true, you know. You sit there and I was doing my yoga live yoga on TikTok. I don't know if you saw me yesterday. I did live TikTok yoga.
Whoa, you did? Like,
I,
dude,
I
I
did it.
did not know you were on there doing live yoga.
My first time. Every time's like the first time. No, it was my actual first time. But Justin came on there and I was sitting there talking to him and we were just going back and forth and everything. And I sat there and I was like, you know, the crazy thing is that people love to, oh, can you give me a massage? And I was like, but what I teach people is how to fucking massage themselves. And then
That's what I'm saying.
so he and I had a little joke about it, and I was like, massage your own butt right now. So he's sitting there, and we're both sitting there on the live TikTok, and we're just massaging our butts. And I was telling them, I was like, I invite you to massage your butt because the problem is that you are the only thing that remains constant. So stop looking at your life as a mistake and start accepting the fact that that person right there is waiting for you to give her love, care, and affection and give you that time. You do not have to seek it from someone else. Yes, it is wonderful to have it from someone else, but guess what? That someone else may not be there tomorrow, may not be there next week. And that's when Justin was kind of making jokes with me about it. But I was like, it's true though. It's true.
Yeah.
You get in a car accident, you can have cancer. You can have these things that get thrown at you. And the only thing that keeps you connected and grounded and able to communicate with your emotions so that you are the most badass fucking confident person that you know and self-aware as fuck is by continuously putting yourself first, not oh, let me get my nails done. Let me get my hair done. I'm talking about that good shit that makes you fucking uncomfortable because you cannot get to the gravy until you do the work. You
And
cannot
that's
get
exactly, dude, like I'm feeling that. I'm totally feeling that because that's the stuff that I say.
you can have heavy cream, but you're not getting that good whipped cream until you fucking beat the shit out of it over and over. I don't know if anybody's made whipped cream from heavy cream, but that shit is not easy. If you're doing it by hand, you're going to be doing that for a while.
Butter. Making butter is the same exact way. You just like you pour the buttermilk in and you shake the shit out of it, but you're going to be shaking the shit out of that forever. But like I freaking feel the same way that you do on that. I tell people, the same thing. And I told myself this is that it all starts with you. And that's what I learned. That's what I learned through this journey, going to rehab, that it started with me. And as I got better, as I filled my heart, as I filled my cup, that overflow poured into my family, poured into my friends, poured into strangers. It all starts with you. And then when you begin to put the work in for you, now putting in the work can be anything. So shadow work, picking up a book, finding someone on YouTube, listening to a podcast. Just saying, listening to a podcast. You know what I mean? Anything. You can learn from anyone. Joining a workshop, you can learn and just put that action into self. For me, it's always been, I will be listening to someone, talking with someone, and then something they say. When I heard the freaking thing of being better, not bigger, then heard the success is something you attract by the person you become. Well, it's the name of the game is being better than who you were yesterday. So that is my goal every time I wake up. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I tell myself is I'm going to be better than who I was yesterday.
Yep.
And I don't dog myself, because here's the thing. If you dog yourself out, you might as well, you're just like everybody fucking else. Taking that non-judgmental awareness. So I'm going to say it. Equanimity. Okay. What the fuck that was. But equanimity is a non-judgmental awareness. When I learned about meta meditation, and there was a Buddhist, a deceased Buddhist practitioner and teacher, and she said there are the four adobes. So the meta, these are the four emotions that you will probably will only be the only four emotions that are important: the loving kindness, the compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. Learning the word equanimity and coming to a full understanding of it, it is a non-judgmental awareness. Now, when I say that, you're like, oh, bitch, that's judgy, da-da-da. That's what it is that when I really started tapping into that non-judgmental awareness, I found that, dude, are you really judging yourself? Why are you judging yourself? You mean that you learned a lesson and you didn't do this before, but now you found that if you do it regularly and you do it consistency, you feel different, or you notice that you're not criticizing yourself? Dude, here it is. Life is life and people are people. Life is always going to life. You will always hear me say this. Life is life and people are people. And people are always going to be people. We are a people. And, we may do things we learn lessons. We're going to learn lessons every single day. We are going to grow every single day. There is a shaman that made this statement, that a shaman is someone that is aware of self, but in that awareness, they realize there is more awareness that they need to come across. There is more that they need to learn about themselves. So this is a never ending journey. You get better, you get better, you get better, you get better. You heal, you continue to heal. And then, there's that moment of like, you know what? I don't ever want to be in that space where where I'm like, I'm healed. Nah, bitch, that means you still got more shit to do.
Right. That means you better fucking start back at square one. And that's why I have, like, in my app, that's why I have those crash course videos, right? Which are the 6 foundational videos, because it's literally, you watch those videos and then guess what? A couple months down the road, guess what my prompt is going to be for you? Go back and watch those videos again. Why? Because we watch it or we listen to it and we're like, oh, I already read that. Oh, I already watched that. oh, I've already done that, right? And then what happens when we go back and we watch it again or we listen to it again? Oh my God, why did I get any of this the first time? Did I understand it? You get a new meaning and an understanding to it because you're able to be more open, and it is going to be a new experience every time. Like literally, I'm a firm believer that every time should be like the first time. I know that's not what it's for, but that's what I'm using it for. It's for everything. Every time. Stop it.
Dude, every time you and I do this, the song comes on and I was like, it feels like the first time. It feels like the very first time. I'm like, you know what? You don't even know the song, do you?
I do. I'm just living.
I fucking love you, dude.
I do that to my daughter too. Like I'll turn on a song and I'll start singing. And as soon as she starts singing, I just stop. And I just sit there and she's like, Mom, why aren't you singing? I'm all, I don't know. I just, my moment done, I guess. Like, I'm handing the mic over and I'm like, and go. Sing. Done.
I'm like, because I felt that way. I felt like, I'm like, okay, Ange, you got this. Go ahead. And you're like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and I'm like, what just happened? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm like, you know what? You don't know the song, do you? You know the song.
Stop
do you?
it.
It's okay. It's totally okay. Because I'll be honest, the reason why I know it is because it was on freaking
I know of that song, bitch.
you know it's same here. Same
You
here.
want a true moment? I'm bad with words. Ask the kids. This is me when I'm singing a song.
Dude, that's like my mom. My mom will sing stuff and I'm like, Mom, that's not the words, Mom. And she's like, that's my word.
That's me. That's me. Oh, yes. Somebody gets me.
Dude,
God, I'm like, Mom.
the only reason I even know.
Like, they're like, you're not even singing at this point. You're just like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Let me alive. Did I ever claim to be a fucking singer? No.
Yeah. The only reason why I even know the song is because it was on Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect is a good one.
Dude, I've seen all of them. It's one of my favorite movies.
I love it. That my daughter was trying to sing that cup song. See, I don't know the words.
What is it? I bought my ticket for the line. It was a whiskey running line. But I still would like the sweet company. And that's pretty much it.
When I'm gone. When I'm gone. Yup. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness, Ange, man, we have we have some really amazing conversations.
Oh, I know. I would totally I would totally listen to us.
I know. I would too. I would too. And people would be like, what was the point? If I were my listeners, I would listen to the two of us together. And by the way, we do this probably like you'll catch Ange on my podcast or you'll catch me on Ange's podcast. And like, you know what? Maybe we should just do like a month of podcasts where it's freaking Who the Fuck's in the Mirror and Rising with RLP and just like have like for the whole month, you just get the two of us together.
A whole collab.
Dude,
but we'd have to actually, I think we'd have to organize it just a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even though you and I are like that, those people that just were like, fly, bitch, God.
Rip off the can't care about the repercussions. Just do it.
Mhm. It's all fuck the repercussions. Rip off that band-aid. And then like half the skin is ripped off.
Come on, well, that didn't go over well.
That, that escalated quickly.
Right, it's fine.
That was wrong.
Fine. I feel like that would be a good time. We should definitely do that.
Yeah, so we'll actually have to sit down and like,
Organize it.
organize. I think
Mhm.
that'd be cool.
I'll have to invite you to my next live TikTok yoga.
Mm.
Mhm.
Oh, I was in that world of TikTok, and now you see me on there maybe once or twice. Once or twice, you'll see me on TikTok doing a video. And I stopped doing the lives because I was going on there doing my 5-minute lives, and all I was doing was just fucking meditation, and that's all I wanted to do. 5 minutes. Then it went into this long, drawn out thing. I became friends with people that, they were fucking good people. Like, do not get it twisted. They were amazing people. They were there when they were supposed to be there in my life, and I was in their life when I was supposed to be in their lives, but we're not friends anymore. But I would get on there and just be on there like 30 minutes was my time. And then here I am, fucking 2 hours later, I'm talking to people, and it just wore me out.
What you're saying is that we've got to work on your boundaries.
Dude, right? But here's the kicker. I have worked on my boundaries, and I continue to work on my boundaries. And guess what? That's why I'm not on.
Right.
Because
That's why I have to have somebody else. Sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, can you check my TikTok and see who messaged so that I don't get sucked into the abyss?" Because then you sit there and you talk, and they're wonderful people, but then at the same time, you're like, "Okay, but this focus is business,
yes.
business.
And
Pleasure. So my business is my pleasure."
that's what I'm saying. And I really enjoyed it. I was enjoying helping and talking to people and everything. But dude, it's one of those things of like, shit, dude, you got to get your work done. Why are you on here for like 3 hours? And, that's when I realized though, Tammy, work on your boundaries. Boundaries is an important thing. Healthy boundaries. So then I was just like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to get on TikTok and go live anymore. And I didn't. And I'm happy I stopped, actually.
How did you guys know it was going to be an intervention, right?
I don't, I'm like, I totally.
TikTok, it wasn't as bad. Sneaked up on me. I can't even keep all my social media organized sometimes. I'm like, wait, I don't know if you're my friend on this platform or this platform.
Dude, I think that we're friends on all platforms.
I'm pretty sure we are. But anyway,
I don't do Twitter.
I don't do Twitter. I don't tweet it out. I don't X it out.
The tweet.
It's not Twitter anymore. It's X.
It's what now?
X. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Because you're living in those bulrushes over there. Your background.
Dude, I freaking use this one for my whatchamacallit. I use this one this one in particular for when I do the meditations on Meetup.
What? Oh,
This
Meetup.
background. This is my jam background.
Wonderful. I love it.
I know, right?
Beautiful. So anyways, guys, I know the conversation is just kind of dwindling off. Our listeners are falling asleep, or they just stop listening. They're like, what are these bitches doing anymore? We don't even know anymore. Anyways, guys, we will leave you with this.
Yeah.
The whole point of all of this is that you can call them mistakes. You can call them whatever the fuck you want, but you can call the color red. You can call it blue. Doesn't change the color of it, right? So mistakes, you can call them mistakes, mishaps, regrets. It is the parts that you have not accepted within yourself, or it is the parts that you still have a lesson to learn from them. And that's why they are still mistakes, because you are still hiding them instead of accepting them. Accept, grow, learn from it, and move the fuck on and keep going. Don't look back. Don't fucking Sodom and Gomorrah it and look back and turn into salt. Don't do that. Just look forward.
Yeah. And know that
what do we do? All we do is win, 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 no matter what.
what? And we just keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward.
Just like
Keep letting yourself know that I can do this.
Exactly.
Being better than who you were yesterday.
Yep. And you're allowed to have feelings and emotions, and you're allowed to make quote unquote mistakes. They are not mistakes. We learn, we live, we grow, we move on, and we become a better version of ourselves every single fucking second of every day.
Yeah.
What will you choose today? Thank you for listening to Who the Fuck is in the Mirror?
Happy healing.
There we go. There we go. See, she did it this time.